Now, it is established that economic growth of a country is greatly driven by gainfully employed population that is utilizing available state resources and networks to produce. The current administration in Nigeria seems to be aware of this fact and has prioritized creating employment opportunities for young Nigerians, especially the unskilled and unemployed, including persons with disabilities. One of the major federal government's agencies saddled with the responsibility to design and implement programs to combat mass unemployment is the National Directorate of Employment (NDE). On appointing a new Director General of the Directorate, President Bola Tinubu anticipates an overhaul of the NDE for optimal performance. On the spot, we speak to the man who carries the burden on his shoulders on how he intends to go about it. Stay with us. I am Joseph Utsem. Welcome to the program. Now, my guest is an administrator, politician, and sport enthusiast with lots of years in public service. The development economist has served as Nasarawa State Commissioner, Youth and Sports, and State Commissioner Planning before being appointed to serve as Special Advisor on Sport to the Nasarawa State government, and later emerged the Deputy Governor in the state under the reign of Umaru Tanko Al-Makura. My guest also has a footprint on the national stage, having served as one of the national commissioners of the National Population Commission representing Nasarawa State. On the spot, he is the Director General of the National Directorate of Employment (NDE), Silas Agara. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Joseph, and thank you very much on the sports crew.
All right. Okay, this is I'm sure this is one of the offices that has a huge burden on his shoulders, just as I introduced, because the federal government, as President Bola Tinubu, he made employment as one of his priorities. In short, it forms one of the 8 pillars of the administration.
Quite correct.
Yes. So, and on appointing you, I remembered his statement clearly. He's anticipating an overhaul so that NDE will be that to serve as that key agent to combat mass unemployment in the country. What is your understanding of that overhaul that the president said?
Well, thank you very much. The president is quite passionate when it comes to creating employment, creating wealth, emancipating the youth and of this country. You can see that from the Renew Hope agenda, the major pillars. In short, about 2-3 pillars of the Renew Hope agenda had to do with creating wealth, creating employment, specifically the pillar number 3 of the Renew Hope agenda. And assuming that office and with the charge of Mr. President, it entails that we have to fall back to look at the mandate creating the NDE so that we don't deviate from the mandate and align the mandate with the Renew Hope agenda of the Mr. President. Because the Renew Hope agenda and the mandate are all looking at the same thing and addressing the youth unemployment in the country. It's a difficult task, but it's surmountable. And Mr. President knows that he's surmountable, and that's why he has charged us with that mandate. We hit the ground running. You can attest to the fact that NDE used to be very vibrant in those days. NDE used to be an agency that created wealth, created employment for a lot of people. There are a lot of Nigerians I've met, prominent Nigerians I've met in the course of trying to marshal out the plans of NDE. And they have gone through NDE. They have benefited immensely from NDE. They have been able to use NDE to create wealth for themselves. they have been able to use NDE as a stepping stone to get to the next level. And that is what we should be doing. And that's what the youth of this country are looking out for.
Okay, you have had that conversation with people who told you who see the benefited from NDE and you know exactly what it stands for. What do you think went wrong at a particular stage? What do you think went wrong from your conversation with people, or even having taken over from the office?
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Probably the priorities of different governments might be different. It depends on who is at the helm of affairs. The priority of Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is different, and it looks at creating and combating youth unemployment in the country. It's possible other presidents had a different approach towards what they want to deliver to Nigerians. But this present government is looking at the problems headlong, addressing it headlong, and believe that NDE can contribute, can support, can address some of these challenges. NDE is not the only agency that is looking at that pillar number 3. There are 1 or 2 agencies that are equally working towards that same pillar. And with the population of this country, you need more. That means it's a big tax on NDE, it's a big tax on other federal government agencies, and we need to closely work together so that we can address those challenges. And I think that with the support we're getting from this present leadership, the infrastructure is there, the environment is conducive, we're getting a listening ear from Mr. President, the ministers are very supportive, and the personnel on ground, their morale is high now. They are encouraged.
Okay. Just recently you flagged off the Renew Hope Employment Initiative. Speak to us about the program. I think that was in collaboration with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
Yeah, we agreed as management, as staff of the agency, because all the 4 programs department have their individual programs, work plan of what they want to achieve within 2024. And we agreed that we can't do this program collectively, all the departments. And we can look at the needs of Nigerians, of the youth, and what is expected of NDE to deliver. Now, going forward, it has been a paper process in the agency. And we'll say, let's open the space. Let's allow the youth Nigerians to have equal opportunities from all parts of the country. And the best thing is to use IT. Open a portal, get the website up. We had to develop a new website for the agency and get a portal that will accommodate the traffic that's given the large number of unemployed youth out there. So luckily Galaxy was there, backbone to support us, and other government agencies were there to support us. And we opened the portal and agreed that we're going to have equal opportunities to all Nigerians. We have over 8,000 electoral wards. And so if we can accommodate a minimum of 10 from each electoral ward, that means you're going to have over 88,000 Nigerians that will key into the program. Then other areas that have some challenge, some peculiar challenges, can get more because of the interest of the trade you have in those areas. Because the environment differs. What will work in Bayelsa might not necessarily work in Nasarawa State. What will go in Lagos,
yes, that's where I was going
might
to.
not go in Plateau. So we'll have to factor in all this consideration and the set skills that we're impacting on the youth.
That's what I want to ask there. You talk about the youth, you talk about inclusivity. Do they have an impact into picking the programs that are involved? Because in the past, you see that one of the challenges that we have is that this issue of this is what we want for the people, but not necessarily what actually the people need. And when you talk about peculiarity, were youths involved in the kind of picking a kind of programs that they want, so that you don't just force someone into a training and at the end of the day the person is not interested and then later on he or she abandons the program?
Yeah, quite well. I know it has been a challenge in the past, and that is why we had to develop the website, the portal, to address those peculiarities. Once you log in, you have over the 30 set skills listed there on the portal. It's for you to
30 set skills.
30 set skills. It's for you to click what you know you're more interested in doing among those 30 set skills. So there's going to be a lot of yes, we might not be too perfect now, but it's a learning curve for us in the agency going forward. And from those 30 set skills, we're able to identify those that want to go into plumbing, those that want to go into solar power technology, those that prefer auto mechanics, and those that are into confectionaries, more for the women, and to know how to manage those complexities when it comes to the set skills. And we're able to get those set skills broken into words, different words, based on some numbers. In some words, you might have 4, 3, 6 in particular set skills. So we're able to break down all these set skills into various words. But the demand, because we only made arrangement for about 93,000.
93,000.
Yes, that was what we arranged for, we programmed for. In less than 2 weeks, the hits and the interest far above exceed what we were looking for. And so that is the challenge of managing those set skills.
Based on those who apply.
Yes, and migrate. Unfortunately, based on portal. Unfortunately, in some words, few days to the implementation of the program, we had 1 or 2, less than 10. In some words, it's possible. You know, that is possible.
Yes, possible.
In some words, you have over 50 persons, 30, 70 persons, 200 persons in some words. But we have made a commitment that, look, we want to give every ward, every electoral ward, same opportunity, a minimum of 10-10, given the set skills. And it will interest you to know that we have to factor in other interest groups so that it can be inclusive. We gender factor, special needs, and other, and some of the women that are into small business, so we have to factor in certain age consideration for them, so we can carry all along. And like I said, we might not be too perfect, but for me, being my first project, it's a learning curve going forward. That means in 2025, Nigerians should expect something much better, much robust, well organized than what it is. But to God be the glory. We thank God for the smooth takeoff of the program, the acceptability it has garnered outside Abuja in all 36 states of the Federation. And it's not time yet. It's not time for us to praise ourselves until the end of the program.
Okay.
So we'll be able to assess the impact that the program have impacted on Nigerians.
Okay. We will not go to the end yet. They still want to dig deeper into the program, but we will do that when we come back from this break. Welcome back to On the Spot with Director General, National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Silas Agara.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before we went on the break, we were talking about the Renew Hope Employment Initiative that you flagged up of recent. Now, one area of concern has been the fact that I heard a lot of people, being a labor correspondent myself, most of the time when we go to NDE programs, you see people will come up and say, oh, NDE, we don't hear anything about NDE, we don't hear anything about the projects that they're doing. All of a sudden we'll just see that, oh, they have empowered so number of persons. We hear they have empowered so number of persons. Obviously that should be a kind of a communication gap. And then some now feel that the beneficiaries are handpicked.
Yeah.
Then
I accept it.
How do you intend to deal with it?
I accept it. You see, that is why I said for now, we have been able to use technology maximally and migrating from the paper procedure to a paperless transaction. We didn't share forms. We didn't distribute forms to anybody. And so that means all those that we're training are registered on our portal. All those that we're going to empower must be registered on our database. That means we have a database. I can comfortably tell you that now we are starting somewhere, we're going somewhere. We have a database of over 19,000 beneficiaries that have indicated interest to participate in the Renew Hope initiative. And that means those that will be empowered will come from those numbers on our database. Those that will be introduced to other financial institutions for empowerment, for support, for certain loans will come from the 90,000, over 90,000 that is registered on our database. And so you can track. You can come in tomorrow and say, hey, let me see those that you have empowered. Can I have your details? We key into our system. Going forward to 2025, this set of youth that we're empowering, this set of beneficiaries that we're empowering, will not key into our programs next year. That means we have to.
Once you are benefited once.
Because there are a lot of Nigerians out there that are interested, that want to be empowered, that want to be trained, they want to acquire that skill knowledge. So we should be able to close the chapter for this 93,000 and look at other set of Nigerians that want to be. For this 93,000 next year, we can upscale them and give them a different set of training by upscaling their knowledge in the industry.
That's where I wanted to get to, because there are a lot of persons like this after empowerment. They will now take some of the starter kits that have been given, and some of them will even sell them off. How do you intend to keep the
absolutely. You're absolutely correct. What we have done is to rejig the inspectorate department of the agency. In the past, the bureaucracy process of reporting is too tedious. At the state level, it is the state that monitors these officers. It is the state that transmits the reports to the headquarters for us to know what is happening at the state level. Now the reporting process is too cumbersome. Before it gets to the heads of the department at the state level, it gets to the director at the state level and comes to Abuja and go through the process in Abuja. Before it gets to the DG, it has taken time. A lot of damages must have been done. And so what we have done, what we just did now in going forward this program is to empower and to restructure the inspectorate department who have oversight in monitoring and evaluating our beneficiaries. For the desk officer to report straight to Abuja, send his report straight to Abuja. It comes straight to the head of department, to the director in charge in Abuja. And within 24 hours, I get a report. So we've been able to cut that process, that reporting process. So we get to know our beneficiaries. They report to us within 6 months. Within that 6-month process of monitoring them, of evaluating what they are doing, we get to know who is doing what. Mind you, for them to key into our program, we ask for their phone numbers. They have to register with their phone numbers, their email, their NIN numbers. we'll have a handshake with NIMSI in terms of ensuring that all these data are well protected. We'll have a handshake with NIMSI.
Can these beneficiaries now, some of them, after a while, you may be having some difficulties. Do they have a contact that they can communicate that will give them kind of an assistance? Maybe they need some certain assistance along the business line.
Absolutely. We'll have the guardians department. We'll have the guardians unit at the state level. And the guardians unit and the MIE, the inspector, work hand in hand. So they monitor the processes. Those that need guardians or certain challenges when it comes to managing their business, they have been assisted. And so we can keep track, because you have your data with us. We can keep track of what you're doing. So within 6 months, we should be able to know where you are, what you have done, and what you have achieved within 6 months. We didn't just stop there. For the artisans that we're training, we're having a platform, an app for the artisans that we're training. All the artisans that will go through this process this year will be uploaded on our platform. It's just like the Uber app. It is geofenced. Those in Abuja, we've geofenced them in Abuja. Those in Nasarawa and Plateau have been geofenced in those areas. And so if you're in Abuja and you need the service of a plumber, Nigerians trust NDE. It is better you trust NDE, you trust the recommendation of NDE, than to go to the roadside and pick a plumber and invite him to your family house to do certain work for you.
Let me get that very clear. That's as you have like an app, just like the taxi system, where you can just click on it when you need the services of a particular artisan.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a plumber.
Yeah.
You just go to that app, you look at it.
At the end of this program,
then you just.
At the end of this program, we'll upload all the system. At the end of this 3-month program, we upload. Then upload all the artisans.
When is the program going to end? So that maybe Nigerians listening to this, that
it's a 3-month training process. So we're looking at February, March to wind up this phase of the training. And we'll upload them at no cost. The services that if you are seeking for a service of a plumber, all you just need is just key into the app. Get the plumber that you have, all the database, all the information you need about the plumber is there. We'll link you up with the plumber at no cost, extra cost to you, at no cost to the plumber. You negotiate between the client and the plumber. Because NDE is not a profit-making agency. We have a duty to create employment. I must look for all avenues to create employment, given the technology available to us. And we must phase out from certain skills that we're impacting on this youth. Just like you asked initially about them choosing the preferred skills they want. We must be able to phase out from the old skills that we're impacting on this youth. There are emerging technology, there are emerging digital skills. No youth want to take hoe and cutlass to start tilling the soil. No. There are good ways of going through those kind of processes.
Yeah, that's the agricultural sector.
Yeah.
That's agriculture.
Yes.
That's a huge employment opportunity. But when you talk about agriculture, the first thing that comes to the minds of many youth is that hoe and cutlass. Are you looking at that?
Yeah, we're looking at that. And that's the only way we can reduce the rural-urban migration and encourage this youth to stay back in their communities and make some little cash from the value chain available to them in the agricultural sector. We're taking a good advantage on that. So we want to key into the agricultural sector and key into the IT sector. And these two major areas will be able to absorb most of our unemployed youth, including graduates. They will be more comfortable key into the value chain available for them in the agricultural sector. They will be more comfortable key into the the IT sector. And those that have other skills in terms of engineering skills, of course, we link them up with the construction industry. That we are providing from our special program unit.
93,000 job opportunities for young Nigerians. Thank you so much. Director General, National Directorate of Employment, Silas Agara, for being on the spot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Hussein, and thank you very much, Nigerians.
And that is it on the spot. I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.